fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world, but they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states and everything else, with a mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation all over the globe. But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible. Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border? He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. I've restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation. Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs, and that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen, AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military. And I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military. And last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward. And I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called most favored nation. And no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, trumprx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower costs. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me, because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds, as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody, or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. The Commander-in-Chief, President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, speaking, addressing the nation, telling us all the great, wonderful, good things. Yeah, that's that. So I'll be honest. I apologize about what happened there with the feed. I was preparing the show, getting ready to rock and roll, and I knew that he was going live tonight. I knew that he would be live, but while I was setting up the show, I just completely put it out of my mind. I guess I thought it was Tuesday or something. I don't know what I thought, but I thought, I didn't think that it was actually tonight. I knew he was going to address the nation, but I didn't know that it was tonight, I guess. So I apologize for the mix-up there and the little late start, but that was that. We got the word in from the president, and we've got some follow-up to do from the city of Muncie, Indiana, and state government here in Indiana. I appreciate all of you tuning in and watching. We've got a lot of people that have tuned in on X. Of course, our regular home is on YouTube, but we appreciate you wherever you choose to watch from. We are live on YouTube, X, Rumble, Facebook, and then audio podcast after the program airs. We go out live there. So thank you for tuning in. Hey, be sure to smash that like button if you're on YouTube. If you're on X, you don't have the option to do that. So it is what it is. But share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. Subscribe if you're so inclined, and we can get into it. So I'll be honest. I listened to about half of that. I was doing some things behind the scene here. I was not ready for the president's speech tonight at all. I had a whole other thumbnail ready. I had a whole other title, and Stumblefoot messaged me at like 8:50 and said, "Hey, are you going to be running the president's address tonight?" And I thought, holy shit, that's tonight. So I quickly killed my other thumbnail. I killed the title, and we called an audible, and we shared that live. So I will probably have to go back and look through that. Normally when the president speaks, sometimes something like that, we have Kate doing fact checking, and we put that stuff up, but we're not ready for any of that. So I apologize, and it is what it is. Somebody asked how the fact checkers were doing. I think the fact checkers were working overtime, and they just burn up. So it is what it is. We will look at that, and if there's need for some commentary on that, we can have that maybe tomorrow. We are going to go into where I left off last night with the state government. The fact that the Fox 59 in Indianapolis was reporting that Braun said that Micah Beckwith's comments about Trump threatening Indiana, Braun said that was fake news. It didn't happen. And we've got some people questioning this because we're basically in a situation where, in order for Beckwith to have had that information, we have to assume that he was in the room and part of the negotiations. The problem is Beckwith is a liar and Braun is a liar. They both are terrible. They're both horrible. I don't believe either one of them are true conservatives. Beckwith might be a religious conservative, a Christian conservative, but he's not a political conservative. He is a showman. He's looking for his next place he can land, and he's always looking to be provocative. That is, of course, my opinion based on what I've seen out of him over the last however long he's been doing his thing. So we have two liars, and when we're like, well, Beckwith's lying about this, okay, that's fine, but the liar, the governor who's a liar, is the one telling us that he's lying. So who do we believe in this situation? How do we believe Braun over Beckwith, or how do we believe Beckwith over Braun? In my opinion, the fact that Beckwith deleted the tweet within a matter of minutes, short period of time, in my opinion, that leads me to believe that this was something that Braun contacted him and said, hey, pull that shit down now. Because Beckwith is known as a dirty deleter. He deletes many things frequently. He's deleted lots and lots of tweets. But generally, he'll post a tweet, and then he will delete it a couple days later when he's tired of the blowback he's getting or this or that. But when Beckwith posts a tweet and then he deletes it, bang, straight away, that's how you can pretty much guarantee that it's coming down from the top. Now, that does not help us to determine who's lying here, because is it a thing that, yes, he was in the negotiations And Braun doesn't like the fact that Beckwith put that out there. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Is it that he wasn't a part of that and that he heard that from other elected officials? So Beckwith wasn't a part of it, but he got what happened. That's a possibility. Is it just Beckwith talking out of his ass and doing things and saying things that he thinks that Trump would have said or that he thinks will help? That's a possibility too. Or is it, is Braun lying? And it absolutely happened, and Braun was able to get him to delete it, but it did happen. All of that is possible, and that's where we are currently in the state of Indiana, and it's really a sad state of affairs. I think Braun has absolutely done as much possible damage to himself in this first year as possible. You got to think, it seems like these people have been around and that we've had these people in power, for ever. It seems like we've been dealing with these idiots for a long time. But it's only been a year. We're not even into a year. They're still under a full year. And the one thing that we should be able to take a little bit of happiness with and understand is that hopefully he has done enough to kill any kind of re-election bid. As long as Hoosiers will continue to remember this, I think that's a bad thing with Hoosiers. We tend to have a short memory when it comes to our elected officials. So hopefully we'll remember all of the stupid things. I don't think that the Braun Beckwith team are done doing stupid things. I'm sure that we'll see a lot of stupid things coming in 2026 and 2027. They're not yet done doing the ignorance. So I'm sure there will be a lot more. That said, we'll have to have someone up to bat that can challenge him and that can give him a run for his money. Of course, we're hearing that it could very well be Todd Rokita, and I don't think that's a good choice. I saw some people in the comments earlier talking about needing to cane Trump, take him off like at the Gong Show. And I saw that Hummel, was it Hummel? No, it was Clinton Hummel said that, short of Rand Paul, they all need the cane. And it's like, yeah, I can get behind that in a lot of cases, specifically here in Indiana. It's very hard being here in Indiana, being a constitutional conservative, a libertarian-ish leaning conservative-ish leaning libertarian, whichever way you want to describe me, seeing all this horrible leadership that we have, knowing that it's all quote unquote Republican conservative leadership. I just got word today that one of the big people that I've been hoping was going to be challenged in this upcoming election season, J.D. Prescott, is not going to be challenged through. It's been the last couple of days, but I'm okay with announcing it today. I've been sitting on information that I thought that J.D. Prescott was going to be challenged by somebody from Delaware County that I thought would have a good shot at unseating him. And that is now gone. That's not happening. That is not happening. So I feel like J.D. Prescott in District 33 is just going to be able to walk through the primary yet again with no primary challenge. And that really sucks. We've still got time, ladies and gentlemen. The filing period for next year's what's called nationally midterm elections, but here in the state of Indiana, it will be state offices and county offices. The filing period starts here in just a couple weeks. Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Wednesday, January 7th, 2026, the filing period opens, and it will run through all of January. So all of January, and then it closes at noon on Friday, February 6th. So Wednesday, January 7th. I don't know if I said 7th or 6th. Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 through noon on Friday, February 6th, 2026. You can file to run for county office. You can file to run for state office, and you can file to run for Congress, the United States government, if you're so inclined to do any of those. And there's still time. My fear is if someone hasn't already been planning a run, if they've not already put out an exploratory campaign over the last 6 months, this is not a race that you can say today, okay, I'm going to run for J.D. Prescott's seat, and we're gonna give him a real big run for his money. That you can do it, you can do that, but it just doesn't happen. I honestly don't see that happening. Those races seldomly turn out the way that they're supposed to turn out. They don't ever do as much as what people think they're going to do. So you really got to put some time and thought into it. I'm really pushing hard for Catherine Callahan to challenge Mike Gaskell in District 25 State Senate. I think Catherine could give him a run for his money. I think that would be an excellent showing. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. So I'm pushing that. We're seeing some Democrats lining up to run against Roway. I've also heard, I've been hearing a rumor that the Delaware County Republicans and some other folks have been looking at the possibility of Bradley Bookout, Democrat turned Republican. Bradley Bookout is Delaware County councilor. I've been hearing that there have been people that have been murmuring about either Bookout or Bookout's wife challenging Roway. And, you know, I'm not a fan of Roway. I want Roway to go away. But I don't want a Bookout in that seat. Yeah, Bookout is a brawn ass kisser. That's absolutely true. So I'm not happy with that. I'm not looking forward to that. Obviously in District 34, that's right. That's Muncie, the heart of Muncie. That's all of Muncie. That is currently a seat held by Sue Arrington. And I feel like, yes, right. Stumblefoot. I hear that the local Delaware County Democrats are looking to Sarah Gullion, current Muncie City Councilor for District 4, Democrat, possibly to pick up the it's not like a torch, but pick up whatever it is that Sue Arrington is currently candling. It's like an old lantern that the wick has been burnt out of, and the oil has ran dry centuries ago. But it sounds like they're looking at Sarah Gullion picking up and running for Sue's spot. I have not been privy to information from Sue stating that she's not running. I've not heard this directly from her. I generally text her and ask, and she, in pretty quick order, normally responds to me. I have text and ask, but I have not got the response back yet. So I'll keep you posted with that. On the Republican side, we have a primary race that will be taking off between Randall McAllister, a hardcore, what I can say, consider a MAGA Republican, against a Democrat turned Republican, Richard Ivey, a gentleman who was the deputy mayor of Muncie for a term under Republican Dan Ridenour. He announced last week, so we're going to get a primary challenge there. That's going to be interesting. And of course, Scott Alexander's up for re-election, but I don't hear anybody challenging him, and that's sad too. So those are kind of what's happening at the state level, locally through East Central Indiana. I will keep you posted when we hear more there, but I don't look for much more to change. Maybe a couple of things. I will tell you, we're going to move now kind of to the Muncie stuff for a little bit. I'm going to let you know that Tuesday night, we had the Delaware or the Muncie Park Board meeting. And I went through it really quickly last night because we had Catherine on. But I went through a little bit and let you hear a little bit from Carl, the park superintendent. Again, Dan Ridenour, Muncie mayor, needs to get rid of Carl Malone. Carl Malone sucks. He's horrible. But the city's getting ready to lose somebody good in Misty Rains because Dan is so obsessed with Carl Malone for whatever reason. He needs to get rid of Carl and put Misty Rains in Carl's position. That would do so much for the city of Muncie parks, specifically Prairie Creek, but all of the parks. I fully believe. I feel like that would be a great thing for the city, but that's not going to happen. During the meeting last night, James Lutton asked the president, Brad Marshall, the parks board president, or Carl, I guess he just asked a question and anybody could have answered it. And he said, who is doing the visioning on Prairie Creek? And everybody kind of sat around with their thumb up their ass. And Brad Marshall, the president of the park board, eventually said, well, I guess Dan, the mayor Ridenour, and the administration. That's wrong. That is wrong. I'm here to tell you right now, folks. You've heard it right here. Listen to me when I tell you this. The person that is tasked with the visioning of the new Prairie Creek, the North Shore and everything going on, is none other than, does anybody want to take a guess? Kate, you want to take a guess? Say it again. Did you say, no, the board cannot fire Carl. He's appointed by Mayor Ridenour. Did you say Dustin Clark? Yeah, I figured that's what you were doing. Yeah, Dustin Clark is who is currently doing the visioning for Prairie Creek. And that's going to be a disaster. He's an idiot. Complete idiot. I thought he was a grant writer. He's kind of a jack off of all trades, or no trades, I guess. He's just kind of a jack off, basically. I'm going to tell you what I think needs to happen. I think that Ridenour needs to, yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. Ridenour needs to bow out of this visioning or this situation. He needs to let go of his ego, and he needs to bring to the table Delaware County. He needs to bring the county, bring in some state officials. I don't give a shit. Bring in some people from Randolph County or Henry County or Madison County. Some citizens. That's crazy. That's a crazy thought. He could bring in some citizens, and he needs to make a board, and he needs to put that board in place. And then he needs to let that board make decisions. He needs to let that board come up with what needs to be done. He'll just do, he'll just do everything in the open. Yeah. But it doesn't need to be Dan or Dustin. He needs to let this board, this conceptual board that I've got in mind, run this plan. And then he needs to acquiesce to their thoughts, their plans, and let them do what they would be designed to do. That's the only way Prairie Creek doesn't turn into a forever shithole. It shouldn't be Dan or Dustin, and Dustin is Dan, as we, it shouldn't be any of that. But that's not, I don't know. Another board to watch, another board. I kind of get tired of that. I get what you're saying, but it would be better than just Dan and Dustin doing it. It would be, jam it, Dan. That's absolutely. It would be better than Dan doing it himself and or leaning on Dustin to do it. Dustin is an idiot. He is a loose cannon. He is greedy. He's only concerned about himself. Look, I'm going to be honest. Dustin Clark, in my opinion, is probably one of my greatest, in the grand scheme of things, greatest arch nemesis. I think Dustin has the potential to be worse than J.D. Prescott. I think he has the potential to be worse than a lot of these other people that I don't like. And here's the thing. He's not elected. Yeah, that's my concern. The billable hours to vision PCR. I feel like there's more stakeholders in Prairie Creek than just Dan. And something needs to happen to take it away from Dan and Dustin. That's what needs to happen. Because Prairie Creek could be something truly amazing for Muncie. It has been in the past, and it can be again. But it will not be under Dan, who is trying to build back better. Totally insane. While we're talking on Muncie, I want you guys to take a look at this Board of Works meeting from today. This is how I should have known that today was Wednesday and the Trump thing was today. And find and hire real. Yes, yeah, they need to get rid of Adam too. Adam needs to go. He's a joke. He's also a joke. I agree. So, Alva, I've been mentioning this for several episodes. Alva has been killing it with the Board of Works stuff in Muncie. And I just started in the last couple days to really hardcore digging into what Alva's been looking at. And I'm going to take some of the holiday time here as things are slowing down and nothing's really happening to really dig into it, because there's some real crazy stuff going on. In the city as far as the Board of Works is concerned. And so I want to play this Board of Works for you here. Let you guys hear this. Today's meeting was 10 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. It's like longer than it's been in months. A 10-minute meeting. What an absolute joke. Now, I want you to listen to what Alva, did you catch this earlier? I want you to listen. So here's what we've got. We've got the Board of Works members up on the dais. Ted Baker's in the center. Okay. Mr. Fun. We all know who he is. Power Maurer, Lola Maurer is over here in the pink. And we've got an alcoholic. I call her an alcoholic because she's got a problem with alcohol. She's not an alcoholic in the sense of she's drinking all the time. She's an alcoholic in the sense that she has a major problem with alcohol. Look, I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink, but I don't give two shits if you do. Linda over here, Liquor Linda, are there. Now, we don't get a shot of the crowd. Not many people were there. We know that Mr. Usual, the city controller, is going to be here. There's a voice in the crowd that we don't know who it is. We will find out. But that voice says something. I want you to listen to what they're talking about before the meeting gets started, and notice that Ted, he makes a motion to stop them from talking. Okay. I want you to listen to this. Let's listen. Hey, gas is down to $2.44 in Daleville at the Wawa, right before you, as you get under the interstate heading to Anderson. So just FYI, go gas up at the Wawa. They don't pay us money, so I don't care. Here we go.
Maybe by the end of next year. No public announcement yet.
We're ready to go. I already put it in the star.
Well, good morning, everyone, and
Okay, so he said maybe by the end of next year. That's interesting. I'd like to know what they're talking about. Maybe by the end of next year, no public announcement. Let's listen again. And then a voice in the crowd. I originally thought it was Lola Maurer, but Lola Maurer wouldn't be putting anything in the star. So it's the voice from the crowd that we'll actually hear here in a minute say that. So we'll have to go back and look at what's been put in the star, specifically once we know the name here, to see what they're talking about.
maybe by the end of next year. No public announcement yet.
We're ready to go. I already put it in the star.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the December 17th meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could we have the roll call, please? Present.
Present. Present.
We've been given the minutes from the December 10th meeting. Could we have a motion to approve as presented by Lacey?
Yes, I move approval of the December 10th minutes. And I'll second.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, having none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion approved. We've been given the register of claims. Mr. Craig Wright, City Controller. Mr. Faithful, we call him. He's here. And
Ooh,
always smiling.
Mr. Faithful. So Ted is Mr. Fun to us because, you know, he loves fun. We call Craig Mr. Usual, but Ted calls him Mr. Faithful. And I don't know which one do you like better? You like usual or you like faithful? Give me a 1 in the comments if you like usual, or a 2 if you like faithful. We'll have to decide which one we're going to call him.
And there are
Good
claims.
morning.
And what?
And there are claims.
Then there are claims. Yes.
There are
God, they're all so weird.
our usual utilities this week. Our traffic signals and street lights were on this week. We did have a couple ambulances from EMS that was listed on there, and with that, and healthcare. And with that, I'll just open it up to any questions you might have.
Okay. Linda.
They don't even, dude, they don't go over like 1%, 0.5% of the claims. Dude, watch the Board of Works meetings in any other city in Indiana. Some of them are hours long, and most of ours are lucky to break 4 minutes.
None. No, Ted, thank you.
Okay, that's great.
No questions. Nobody cares. They don't care. They got no questions. How much money this time around?
Let's make a motion to approve, and then I got something to say.
Let's make a motion. And then, Ted, this is not how this works, you asshole. Ted, you're supposed to say what you're getting ready to say before you vote. Just keep that in mind. Listen to this nonsense.
I move approval of the claims for $1,414,995.
$1.4 million. And not one single question. Now, listen to this. This is wild.
Any other comments or questions? So I just want to be very transparent. There is a claim here from the Muncie Innovation Connector from an Mayor's Edit Fund for $41,000 for sponsorship and ongoing support of the Innovation Connector. I just want to make sure that
$41,000 to the Innovation Connector, which Ted runs. $41,000 that the city of Muncie is giving him through edit funds. All right, so he brings it up. That's good of you to bring it up. Does he vote? Does he recuse himself from the vote? What do we think is going to happen here?
is open, and we're grateful for the mayor's support with that. So, okay.
I knew
Yeah.
you were going to say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the right thing to do. So,
Absolutely.
okay. Any other comments or
Thank you, Ted.
questions? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Oh, he voted. Yeah, to hell with it. I don't need to. Yeah, it don't matter.
Motion carried. Thank you, Craig. Do you have any other order of business? Gretchen, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have a problem with that deal. Yeah, as we should, as you should, as all people should, as everybody should.
Speak into the microphone.
Yes.
Gretchen Cheese.
God, look at this little, just gross little monster. Gretchen Cheeseman. So she's the voice that they were talking to at the beginning. So I'm gonna have to go back. Chris Bunner is my woman with the plan of that. If you go back and you're able to find anything in the newspaper, say the last 2 weeks, if you hear or see anything, shoot it to me. I'll go back through and look too. I'm interested to what she put in the newspaper. I'm interested in what they were just talking about before the meeting came on. Okay, let's listen.
And Director of Community Development. I have a contract that I would like you to award to Cooper Sprague. We need a Inspire inspector for our home units. Right now, we do not have a home coordinator in our department, and we do have inspections that we
Thank you,
need to
Chris.
conduct. Cooper is Inspire certified and has agreed to work with us. The amount of the contract is per inspection, which is $125.
$125
Inspire?
per inspection.
I should
Wonder
have
how
known
many
you would
ins-
ask me that.
Or just,
Well,
what
it
is
used
it
to be
about?
called Housing Quality Standards,
Okay.
and now it's called Inspire N, letter N, SPIRE. And I can't tell you right off the top of my head what it stands for.
the
I should know that.
habitability mainly.
I'm sorry.
Habitability.
Yes,
Habitability. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the new HUD standard for inspections for public housing, home, all
Okay, great.
HUD assisted units.
Okay. Great. Tink you, Gretchen.
All right.
Do we have
I
a
move,
motion?
I move approval of the contract.
Oh, second.
You hose
Okay,
beast.
and, are there any other public comments or questions? Okay, having none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Gretchen.
Thank
We'll
you.
sign it here. Do you have any other order of business for anyone? Anybody? Good morning.
Hi, good
Morning.
morning. Good morning, Carrie Grimes, General Manager at Village Promenade. Apologize for the short notice. I do not have the paperwork currently with me because I was called at 8:30 this morning. But we do have the permits. We're getting the roof replaced on both of our buildings. The roofers showed up today with trucks and trucks and trucks. So we do have approval from Ball State to use that lot from Chris Palladino. But we do need to close North Street in order to put the crane to use the crane to take
This girl's very
materials up to
excited
the roof, and
about this.
it's North Street's the
Trucks and
south
trucks
side
and
of the
trucks.
building between the Ball State construction and our building.
Rise are very excited.
So I will be going to go get signatures, but I wanted to go ahead and come to the meeting to let you know
When will this, today?
today.
It's happening
Just today?
today.
No, well, whenever they bring the crane, we're going to need to shut it down, and they anticipate, depending on the snow, finishing this project in April. Obviously, it's going to be back and forth
Today through
between
April.
the two buildings, and we don't need to close the whole thing, just the little pieces behind
Pieces
the
of road.
buildings. But I'm meeting with the roofer as soon as I
Yes, Alva, that's really, really, really good. You picked up on that. I picked up on that too, because we get a question here in a minute from our favorite questioner, and yeah,
go to the property because I came straight here. So I don't know how long he's going to be keeping the cranes. He just messaged me and said he's coming back Monday to use the crane. So I believe it's going to be intermittent.
Okay.
And he has all of the road closure items with his company, with Cinemark. And I just wanted to know what all I needed to get that. How do we do this as far as, since it's going to be intermittently, or do I just get approval for 4 months and it's off?
I'm, in my opinion, Linda probably knows more, but I think intermittent is fine. We'll just give you blanket approval because
Okay.
you're doing it right.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem with that. And,
Thank
and
you.
the other thing is there's so much construction there anyway. People are
Right.
avoiding that area, like, does
Yes,
that make
and I-
sense?
Yeah. Is there any way that, I worry about notification to people. Is there any way we could do some kind of, I don't know,
Message.
Like post a
messaging
sign.
or social media?
We'll
or
definitely-
Something in the Ball State News or,
For sure. I definitely have a connection with Ball State Daily newspaper, so I can
I
get
would
that
hope.
information out to them to put out.
Yeah.
I also send it to all of our residents and all of their parents, so that when they're coming to visit our students, usually they're using that parking space on the south side of the building. So, and the roofer said he would let me know a day in advance moving forward so that I can flag cars and just let them know we're going to be here early at 8 a.m. Move it.
what
Move
about
it.
some kind of sign that's posted on either end of the street that says intermittent closure this
Yeah.
period to this period?
I can look for an A-frame that we can put
I can
on
look for an
both
A-frame.
ends of the building,
Okay, thank you, Carrie.
for sure.
I mean, I just, worry about people who.
Yeah, he's just
Absolutely.
like, shut up,
Or
stop
do
talking. I
what
got
they
places I
plan
got to
to do
be.
And don't have any other plan.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve
The paperwork.
The paperwork.
Yeah.
The paperwork cup. Yes, thank you.
I don't have a problem with it.
I move approval of the street closure request.
Second.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Carrie, thank you for being caring enough to ask questions, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
For
Thank
Any
being
other
caring
comments or
enough.
questions?
Nope.
Jerry?
Jerry's got a question.
Jerry Wise, Muncie. Jerry Wise, Muncie.
Is this thing on?
Parking spaces that are the lots,
No,
yes,
no.
in the city parking we just have an agreement with the city that they only ticket Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Up in the garage.
Up in the parking garage is ours. So
No.
the whole garage is ours.
Well, it shouldn't be. It was built by the city.
Well, we bought it last in October.
They bought it from MRC.
Yeah, so that's,
So that's going to be a problem with the village park. All the
The
stuff.
garage hasn't had city.
Okay. So it's kind of hard for you to hear because we got people talking to people who aren't at the podium. They really need to tell them all to come up. So Jerry here, love Jerry, gets up and asks a question. So the Village Promenade, for the people that don't know, we're talking about Ball State University. This is Ball State School. So it's a college in Muncie for the people that may or may not know this. Okay. The Village Promenade is an apartment complex, apartment building in Muncie, in the village in Muncie, mostly for Ball State students, Ball State professors. I imagine you could live there, I could live there, anybody could live there if you get whatever. And this is, I'm going to show you here. This is what it looks like. Okay. Now we're going to kick over here. I'm going to show you this. All right. Where I was just looking a moment ago was right here at the corner of University Avenue, University. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's not an avenue. I don't know why I said that. University. Yeah, it is University Avenue. Weird. I don't ever say that. University and Martin Street. Okay. So the picture I just showed you was basically like this. Ooh, no, it might have been. Yeah, it's this right here. Here we are. This is basically what we just looked at. Okay. So here it is. Here's their Beauty Mint website. Wonderful. Okay. And then here's Google Maps. Okay. So here's the promenade. That's where you can see there's apartments in there. Now, if you come down Martin Street here, you drive down Martin Street, you can see right here we've got resident parking, okay, inside this little deep, dark hole. And this is a parking garage right here, okay, in here. And, parking, okay. So when this was first made, when this was first built, this was supposed to be for people in Ball State, people in the city, just any kind of all kinds of people could park there, okay, and whatever. Well, what happened was a while back, nobody from the city was using it. No one in the city was using this. So the Village Promenade bought this. Okay, so that's what Jerry's asking. Jerry's like, well, this is going to be a problem for the people in the city. And she says, well, we bought it. It's ours. And he was like, oh, that's a problem. We subsidize this. So, this should be, so this is what he's got a problem with. Now, look, I remember when they bought it, we should have maybe pushed back on that. We should have maybe not let them buy it. The city should have done more to maybe keep it. But they're saying a lot of people didn't use it. I'd only been up there once in my life. And it never looked busy that one. I mean, the one time I was there one time, I parked, I left, and I came back and I left. And so the two times that I was in there to park the car there and then to come back to the car and leave, nobody else was in there. Okay. So this is not being like utilized heavily. It wasn't at the time, whatever. there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with Jerry's question. I wouldn't have asked it because I knew that this was the promenades. Okay. But it is whatever. I'm okay with Jerry having this question, but like they get really butthurt over it. Everybody gets all upset. Number one, because Ted's got someplace to be.
Be parking in it for 3-4 years.
But
Yeah, because
It
we have
should
residents.
have been, it was built for the village.
Well,
It was built for the village, he says. It was built for the city, for people in the village to park, students and anybody else. And Jerry's right, it was. But then it didn't go that way.
I think it was that there just was not enough traffic in there
Mhm.
to warrant having
Well,
it
it's
open.
full.
Well, it's full because of those guys.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's why.
But I mean, it's used, it should be used for the village.
Yeah, but it,
That all the stuff that's gonna be done in the village.
Yeah,
We
well-
mentioned that to the developers.
yeah, I think honestly, they've never accounted for that in their count of number of spots since it was already fully occupied. So, okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll have
Um,
that paperwork to you as soon as possible. I'm going to run up. to
Okay,
the-
yeah, just, yeah,
Get it to Lacey.
give it to Lacey, okay?
Sure will.
Okay,
Thank
any other comments or questions?
We can sign it next week.
Meeting adjourned. And, oh wait, before we do, just a reminder, next week, our meeting is December 23rd at 9 a.m.,
Tuesday.
which is Tuesday. Because
Instead
of
of Wednesday.
Christmas Eve falling on the 24th and the city will be closed.
And then
The
the
same
week
goes for
following.
Tuesday, December 30th. Our meeting will be at 9 a.m.
Great.
then. Okay,
Yeah.
motion.
Wonderful, beautiful, great, lovely, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. It is what it is. So that's that. Interesting question. Interesting take. Thad is absolutely right. Ball State is competing against Muncie proper for commerce, housing, hospitality. Their focus on the village revitalization will compete against downtowns, housing, business, and hospitality. It's going to be very interesting. And that's the way it is. They don't ever second leaving. He just says, we're leaving. He says that's okay. And that's how they do it. It's like, you got to kind of pick and choose your battles. It is what it is. So very interesting that got brought up because I haven't heard anybody talk about that in a while. And Jerry's technically right. I mean, I'll put it this way. Jerry's not wrong. He didn't know that the promenade bought it. Maybe we should have pushed back against that. But, remember, Dan is still trying to solidify our relationship with Ball State, which is what he says all the time. We're trying to dude, I think it's solidified, brother. It's not going to be any more solidified than what it is. We're okay. I don't know. So that's that. There is a Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting tomorrow, which should be interesting. A couple of things which should be interesting to point out. So that's that. Also, throwing back to something that we talked about a way long time ago. It opened in 1918. I think it's here to stay. Yeah, but you know what? Who would have thought the Ball brothers would have left? So you never know. Okay. Moving on. You all remember several months back when there was an allegation of a police officer, not a police officer, sorry. A fireman. Oop. That could be Kate. I don't think that Gretchen would have put that in though. So that could be that Kate brought up a public notice about the Board of Works meetings changing. What is this? Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety meetings during the week of the Christmas and New Year holiday are scheduled for Thursday, December 26th. No, they're not. No, they're not. He just said completely different. Listen to this.
24th, and the city will be closed. The same at 9 a.m., which is next week. Our meeting is December 23rd at 9 a.m., which is Tuesday.
Tuesday, December 23rd at 9 a.m.
Because of Christmas Eve falling on the 24th, and the city will be closed. The same goes for Tuesday, December 30th. Our meeting will be at 9 a.m. then.
Tuesday, December 30th at 9 a.m. However, just as the city does, here's the public notice that Kate just sent from the Star Press. Listen to this. Public notices originally published in the Star Press on 12/11/24. Public notice. The Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety meetings during the week of Christmas and New Year holiday are scheduled for Thursday, December 26th, 2024 at 9 a.m. and Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Listen to this. Listen to this. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, no, this was 2024. So, sorry, I was about ready to get crazy, but that was our mistake, not theirs. Sorry, disregard all that smartassery I was getting ready to get into. That's our fault. Our fault. Hey, listen, when we're dealing with government and the city and all these other people are making these many mistakes, it's okay if we make a mistake or two as long as we take credit for it. That was our mistake. Really, it's Kate's mistake. I'm going to throw her under the bus, but I'm the one on here. I was saying it. I look like the asshole. It was me. I should have looked at it before I said it. That was my fault. No big deal. It is what it is. But it is Tuesday and Tuesday, the day before Christmas. No, it'll be Tuesday the 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve, and Tuesday the 30th, the day before New Year's Eve. The next 2 weeks. So that's that. Okay, going back to the other thing I was talking about. You remember back a couple months ago when the Muncie fireman was accused of sending inappropriate pictures to a female coworker? And basically what he had done is he had taken a picture of his genitalia and he had put it on her tablet that was left at work, and then her family found it, like her daughter, I guess, got it, or somebody got it or something. But basically the bottom line is that's a stuff that shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't have a male firefighter taking a picture of his genitals with a coworker's devices and doing anything like that. Well, he was off on leave for a while and they were waiting to see. Well, I just received, ladies and gentlemen, a message that says this issue has been addressed. And this is what I'm hearing. Sergeant Gibson was demoted from sergeant to firefighter. So he's Stumblefoot. He was demoted from sergeant to firefighter. He was given 1 month off without pay. 1 month off without pay. Monthly counseling for 1 year. And probation on the department. Now, what I've been told is this is a punishment, non-punishment, because due to his seniority, they will allow him to test immediately and automatically make sergeant at some point. So I don't know when that'll be. I don't know if that's like after I have to find out because they don't tell me when, but he will soon be able to get his rank back. This person goes on to say 1 month loss of pay means nothing as he is a technician, a captain pay, and it doesn't matter that they took rank. I find that hard to believe. Look, I don't care who you are. 1 month of pay is a bad deal. Now, it's not, maybe this is not the punishment that it should be. Maybe it should be more punishment. Look, they have done worse to people who did less. I'll tell you that. I was told from the very get-go that not much would happen to this guy because he is friends with the chief and they really look after him. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to file a request to get all of that information, and we'll hopefully be able to find out exactly what's going on there and when he can do what, and we'll see what goes on there. So we did hear that they did apparently act, and that was that. A couple of things, ethics and questions, Pix Anonymous. Yes, I see it. I see the eggplant now. I didn't see it. Can we prevent him succeeding in rank? I don't think so. And I don't know when he'll be able to test, so we'll have to find out from that, but I'll keep you guys posted. As I was saying, tomorrow's Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting, that's going to be important. A lot of good information there. Waiting on some information on Dustin, as I've been saying here for a little bit. We're really needing to get this, to put this together. I'm really going to be in a push to try to get rid of Dustin over this next year, because he's just not good for the city of Muncie. He's ridiculous all the way around, and Dan needs to get. I just still cannot understand what the deal is with Dan and Dustin. It's so creepy. So that's that. The last thing that I wanted to say here, let me pull this up. Oh, there we are. Good Lord. We talked a little bit about the company that announced that it was losing. They were laying off, that they're not going to be employing people, that they are starting the day before Christmas Eve, December 23rd, and they're going to be laying people off. And look, this is a horrible time of the year to be getting this information. Spartech will be closing, and that will affect 125 people right here before Christmas. That's a horrible time. And I got in the comments when I wrote this, everybody's in there saying Spartech was horrible. They were a bad company. They were bad to their employees. Look, I get it. I hear it. The thing is, they were a plastics company, and that is hard on people. That stuff it's dirty, it's dangerous, and it's rough. But the 125 people working there get paid to do that. Okay. So whatever was going on, I get it. And they might have been rough and it might have been bad, but those 125 people need that money. They need that money that they're getting. So to get laid off during this period sucks. The reason that this is really interesting to me here is because not too long ago, Elizabeth Roway, not in her state representative capacity, but in her economic development capacity, came to the city and asked for an abatement for these folks. And That's something that we really need to consider. They received a tax abatement in December of 2023. So that was, it's December of 2025. That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they received that tax abatement. And it was a pretty substantial tax abatement from what I'm gathering, from what I'm hearing. Let me get this pulled up here. National Thermoplastics Packaging Company expanding in Muncie. Muncie Delaware County Economic Development Alliance announced today, and this was December 21st, 2023, that Spartech, a leading manufacturer engineered thermoplastics and custom packaging solutions, will expand operations in their Muncie, Indiana facility at 1401 East Memorial Drive. Spartech will invest $4.9 million in new manufacturing equipment to modernize and add efficiency to production. This investment will help retain 100 full-time employees and add 6 new full-time positions. Spartech is excited about the opportunity this substantial investment brings, which will reflect our commitment to growth, innovation, and improving operations efficiencies, says Jim Elliott, Spartech CEO. It includes the acquisition of 2 state-of-the-art pieces of equipment, which will bolster our production capability and empower our teams to deliver superior products to our valued customers. There will also be a substantial upgrade in the building's infrastructure, ensuring the safety and well-being for our employees and equipment. Spartech previously expanded their Muncie operation with multi-million-dollar investments in real estate and equipment in 2012 and 2017. Spartech has a reputation for quality and innovation, and they have been an excellent employer in our community for decades. With this being a competitive project, the company could have chosen any other facilities in the United States for investment. The Alliance was pleased to work with the elected officials and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the company, and their advisors to bring this project to fruition in Muncie, said Elizabeth Roway, President and Chief Economic Development Officer for the Muncie Delaware County Economic Development Alliance. The request for Economic Development Alliance and Muncie Common Council approved a 5-year tax abatement to support the company's continued investment in Muncie. Okay. Pulling up the minutes of this. Let me get to this here. The city common council declared this to be an economic revitalization area, which authorized deductions from assessed value of the new manufacturing equipment installed in the area for purpose of taxation. The company has advised the council that it intends to purchase and install new manufacturing equipment. The area has previously been declared an economic revitalization area based on the information in the segments in the statements of benefits describing the project. The council makes the following findings: that the estimate of the value of the redevelopment or rehabilitation within the area is reasonable for the project of that nature. The estimate of the number of individuals who will be employed or whose employment will be retained as a result of the proposed redevelopment or rehabilitation from within the area can reasonably be expected to result from the proposed redevelopment or rehabilitation in the area. That the estimate of annual salaries of those individuals who will be employed or whose employment will be retained can reasonably be expected to result from this development. The number of individual opportunities for employment, both temporary, permanent, and the compensation to be paid to employees, along with the value of acquisition and construction of improvements as a result of the project, create benefits and the type of quality anticipated by the council and can reasonably expect to result from the proposed redevelopment and rehabilitation within the area. Let's see here. Based on the information of the statements of benefits and the foregoing findings, the council, pursuant to Indiana 6-1.1-12.1, hereby approves and follows the applicant new manufacturing equipment tax deductions for 5 years. With respect to the project, the percentage of deductions for each of the said 5 years shall be year 1, 100%, year 2, 90%, year 3, 80%, year 4, 70%, year 5, 60%, and year 6, 0%. The City Council hereby authorizes to make all findings necessary or desirable and to take all other necessary actions to carry out the purposes, yada, yada, yada. And this was signed on December 4th of 2023. And this would have been the council of Jeff Green, Jeff Robinson, Brandon Garrett, Brad Marshall, Jerry Dishman, Roger Overby, Aaron Clark, Troy Ingram, and Rose Selvey. And it was voted 9-0 in favor. And the tax abatements would have went into play first year being January of 2024. So they got 100% off. January of 2025, this year, they got 90% off. 2026, 80. 2027, 70. 2028, 60. And then in 2029, they'd be paying 0. So they'll be shutting their doors. Their layoff starts December 23rd, and they plan to be done and closed by February of 2026. So, yeah. The company knew they were closing when they asked for the abatement. They legally took advantage of the economic area clause. Yeah. So that's where we are. It sucks. And, the council, the county council, town councils, all city, town government, county government, going to have to be really careful with these things. It's a, damned if you do, damned if you don't. There are times and places for tax abatements, but you have to just look at what's going on and be very, very careful here, because now this is closing its doors, and they got off for a couple of years doing nothing. And now here we are. And so the benefit that we are supposed to be receiving as a city, as Delaware County, as East Central Indiana, we're not going to be receiving this benefit after February of next year, which is in 2 months. So it sucks. And I'm sure that we won't be hearing much in the way of comment from the mayor. I've reached out and asked if the mayor had any comments on this, or if anyone else had. It's interesting. In my post, I said, bad news for Muncie's workforce has emerged just before Christmas 2025. Spartek manufacturer plastics will be laying off its 125 employees on December 23rd, 2025 through February 2026. This is horrible news for Muncie and the surrounding area. Have there been any statements made from State Senator Scott Alexander, State Representative J.D. Prescott, State Representative Sue Arrington, State Representative Elizabeth Roway, Delaware County's 3 commissioners, Stephen Brand, Shannon Henry, Sherry Reagan, or Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour? And interestingly enough, none of the elected officials that I mentioned commented, but I received a comment from Delaware County Councilor Matt Kantz, who's currently running for commissioner in Delaware County. And he says, Commissioner Brand has met with Spartek leadership and HR from their mothership to offer assistance through the Muncie Manufacturer Alliance, Chamber and County for those affected. And I think it's interesting, number one, that Brand didn't comment that. I think it's weird that Matt Kantz did. That's just really weird. It's just very strange. I wonder when Kantz is commissioner, will they answer each other's sentences and do things like that? That's very strange to me. But like Kate said here, Rowe should have said something, have something to say. She is the one who went to bat to get them the abatement because of her position as both state representative and this alliance director, which I don't like. I've never liked having those dual roles. I don't think that's good. That's taking another job from somebody else in Delaware County. Let's let her be the state representative, and let's not cross-pollinate all this weirdness. The incestuous behavior of local politics is so bizarre. So that's where we are. It's sad news, and we'll have to deal with it and work through it. And the people of Muncie, I hope, will prevail, because that's what they will have to do. Kind of like I said last night at the park board meeting, I remain hopeful. I hold out hope, but deep down, that hope kind of dwindles because of the people we're dealing with. So it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. Still trying to get the voice to get a little bit better. You can tell by the end of the show, it's more raspy than it was at the beginning. That's what it is when you've got the situation going on with the laryngitis. So we'll hope to get better. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Have a great Thursday. Tomorrow we will have word on the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting. We'll cover that. And we'll have much, much more. The last thing, the Madison County or City of Anderson caucus occurred tonight, and the person that we were polling for did not get caucused in. I believe that I saw Catherine say that Wagner got it. I think that's what I saw her say. If I can see back that far, I think she said, yeah, Robin Wagner won the caucus. So that is what it is. And we'll go on from there. Share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. You guys know what to do. Please smash that like button on your way out. And we will see you back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. You guys take care. God bless. And good night.